Hey, welcome back. And this is part 3 of the screencast. I think Cindy hasn't finished talking. So let's listen to the end of what she has to say. Remember, Cindy, at the time I made this recording, was living in Indonesia. She's now living in Sydney as an Australian.
Okay, so I mean that's not positive and it's not negative either, but it's just something that's different, but it's also discipline. And there's no UN for 6 until 9th grade. In Indonesia, I think it's too demanding. How you have to do UN at I think 6th grade. My son just went through it, and yeah, I think that it's too much pressure. I had to do a UN, or we call it the HSE. They start preparing you in 11th grade, and then in 12th grade, that's when you have to do it. But I think that's good because you're preparing for university. But I mean, here from 6th grade to grade 7, why do you have to go through a UN and all that pressure? So, yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much, Cindy. Okay, the last person we're going to hear from is Italian, so get used to that accent. He was a teacher trainee. I don't know how long he'd been living in Indonesia, but he has an Indonesian girlfriend. I don't think been living in Indonesia as long as Scott or myself. So, hey, let's hear from him. Don't forget, what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages of living in Indonesia or living in Britain, Australia, or in this case, Italy? Let's go.
Okay, can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Elio. I come from Italy, and I am 27 years old. And what else? What do you want to know about me?
Maybe why you ended up in Indonesia? How long have you been here, and what's your purpose
I have been
here?
here for more than 1 month. I moved here because I have an Indonesian girlfriend, and that is why. What else?
So, if you have to compare
Yes.
your country with Indonesia,
Yes.
what's your comments on that?
I think Indonesia is much hotter. It's a much hotter country. I really don't like the traffic here in Jakarta. It's crazy, and I think food is good, but always feel when you go to a restaurant they give you like this only. In Italy you used to eat much more than you. That's why.
How about the people in here?
And you always eat nasi, rice. I miss pasta and pizza. There is here, but it's not good. La Fonte, don't buy it. It's not good. Don't buy it.
How about the people itself? People, maybe our
I
culture.
like the people. They're very friendly, and I like the girls.
Of course, obviously.
And they are very nice, as long as they are not driving. When they start driving, they all become crazy. I don't know why. It's like always in a hurry. I don't know why.
How about the cultural stuff? Do you think?
Oh well, I go around asking for some kind of monument or historical place in Jakarta, and only thing that everybody tells me is go to Monas. This is the only place you have. We have many churches, buildings, castles, anything. Nothing here. They only tell me Monas or go to Jakarta. That's all.
So, English is not your first language, right?
How do you know?
I'm guessing, of course. So, if you have to describe to me, how do you get your English? Like you're learning it in school or by talking to
I
people? Or
learned
what?
after school and watching the movies and things like this.
So, if you have to compare with Indonesian method of teaching, do you
I
find that the same?
think yes, it's similar. It's similar to.
So they teach grammar first.
Grammar always first, and then the rest. Yeah, always very similar. So
because you want to be an English teacher, yeah, someday.
yeah, I would like to become an English teacher one day.
So what kind of
I hope
advice? What kind of advice would you give students learning English to improve their skills?
They have to talk with British or American guys so they can pick up the accent. That's what I would suggest them to do. So you see, my accent is very weird. No.
Do you know any bahasa?
Bahasa words that I know are all related to food. I know ayam, nasi, telur, ikan, air, panas.
How about direction? If you have to talk to driver, taxi driver stuff.
Terus, kanan, kiri. I cannot go back because I don't know how to backward. I don't know how to go backward.
Okay, thank you. So for goodbye, can you say something in Italian?
Okay, ciao a tutti, buona giornata. Ciao.
Thank you.
Ciao ciao tutti. I wonder why all the girls like him. Okay, so now you have a piece of paper full of the advantages and the disadvantages of living in Indonesia and of living in Australia, Italy, Britain. So let's go on to the next page. Now, just next to this video on the website, there's a blue button. And on the button it says sentences about Britain and Indonesia. There's a whole bunch of sentences there. You need to decide whether the sentences are about Britain or Indonesia or both. Now, hey, I treat American culture, Australian culture and British culture as really similar. Okay, so when I say Britain, I mean the USA, I mean Australia, I mean New Zealand, I mean Canada. The West, really, okay? So, read the sentences and decide whether each sentence is about Britain, Indonesia, or both. If you think the sentence is about Britain, you write the letter B. If you think the sentence is about Indonesia, you write the letter I. If you think the sentence is about Indonesia and Britain, you write the letters I, B. So, for example, it's very hot here. Is that sentence about Britain, Indonesia, or both? If you think it's Indonesia, write I. Sometimes it snows here. Is that about both Indonesia and Britain? I don't think so. That's probably Britain, isn't it? So you write B. It's a democracy here. People vote for their politicians. Is that about Britain? Indonesia? Well, of course it's about both. So you would write I, B. So pause the video, click the blue button next to the video and download all the sentences. Print them off if you can. Read through them all, and if you think the sentence is about Britain, write the letter B. If you think the sentence is about Indonesia, write the letter I. If you think the sentence is about both Britain and Indonesia, write I, B. Okay? This is the end of part 3.